Okay, hello there kids. This is actually the continuation of last session's activity. Okay, so we have this for page 78, number 11. ABC is a triangle. So ABC is a triangle. So parang nagkaroon lang din ng another triangle because of this line CD over here. Okay, parang nag-form ng another line. So, it says there that ADB is a straight line. So, ADB is a straight line. Okay? So, straight line daw yan. Find angle ABC. So, what you're solving for here is angle ABC, which is ABC. Ibig sabihin, you're solving for this part here. So, erase ko lang to and this one. Pati na rin to pala. So, ito yung sinasolve natin. This is what you're solving for. So, kung mapapansin nyo, if we are going to remove this part, kung tatanggalin natin to, you can already basically solve for this angle here. Diba? Without even the need of having that angle kanina. I mean, yung triangle kanina doon. So, this is actually one example of having other figures to confuse you. Actually, okay lang din naman yung ganun, no? It's actually good kasi you can actually think of other ways to solve. So, parang in this case nga, this triangle here is basically useless. Ang ginamit lang natin dito is yung point A, which is ito, to note it as a triangle at some point. But noting that this is also the angle that you're solving for, so making use of A. Even though if you're gonna use point D, parehas lang yan, no? So, even if you're gonna make use of point D alone, the angle is still the same because we're still talking about this angle over here. As long as ito yung vertex natin, yung B. Okay? So, paano natin isosolve yan? So, again, tatanggalin ko ulit itong part na to. Okay. Tatanggalin ko yan. So, if you notice, you see a triangle. Yung triangle natin dito is basically the scalene triangle or scalene. So, solving for a scalene triangle, all you have to do first is to add both angles. So, that's 108 plus 42. Then, as soon as you get the answer here, all you have to do is just to subtract it from 180. Then, that's how you get your answer for number 11. Okay. Try natin the next number, number 12. Okay, so for number 12, it says there that ABCD is a parallelogram. DCE is an isosceles triangle. Okay, so it's quite obvious that this is an isosceles triangle because we have itong two signs that indicates that these two legs are of the same length. Okay, yan ang indication when we talk about figures na when we have these two lines nga, no, ito, that basically indicates, or whenever you have those lines, it indicates na parehas yung length nila. Okay. So, where DC is equals DE. So, DC is the same as DE. So, yun na yung sinasabi sa book. And BCE is a straight line. Okay. BCE is a straight line. Okay. Find angle ADC. ADC. Which means you're solving for this angle over here. Okay. So, note ko lang sa inyo ha. You have this certain clue there. Meron akong tinatawag na Z angle. I just invented this term. So, kasi I don't want to make use of complicated terms para sa inyo. Anyway, gagamitin nyo naman in the future. What's important here is that you will be able to solve these types of situations. Yun lang naman ang importante eh. The terms are basically not that important. Okay, so anyway, solving for this part, for a Z angle, as long as these two are parallel, ibig sabihin parallel lines yan sila, itong dalawa. So, whenever you encounter this type of angles, you should know that this angle over here is the same as this angle over here. Parehas yan. Which means if you'll be able to solve this, you'll be able to get this. Kasi nga, they are just the same. So, illustrating it further in this figure that we have, if you notice, the Z angle forms right about here. Okay. So, if you will be able to solve this angle here, pwede na natin kunin tong angle na ito, which is ang angle ADC. Okay. Kasi solving, whenever we are solving, we don't focus on one area. Paminsan, we make use of things around it, no? Around the figure to get to that location. Ganun naman talaga when we are problem solving. So, yun na nga, again, we are solving for this part, and for us to be able to solve that part is to make use of this triangle. Wait lang. Kaklaruin ko yun kasi medyo confusing na yung explanation ko. Again, for us to be able to solve this part is we need to make use of this triangle over here. Kailangan natin i-make use yan. How? By simply making use of this angle, which is ang given na 74 degrees. What for? For us to be able to go to solve this part na ito. Itong angle na yan. Why? Because once you'll be able to get this angle, you will also be able to get this angle because of this theory na yan. Okay. Once you'll be able to get this angle, you'll be able to get this angle as well. Why? Because they are the same. Okay? So, I hope klaro yun sa inyo. Tatanggalin ko lang muna to so that we'll be able to solve this step by step. Okay. So, first things first is to make use of the isosceles triangle. If you notice, the base angles are missing. And what's given is the other angle. Okay. First things first na kailangan yung gawin dito, if the base angles are missing, what you need to do first is to take or remove or subtract the other angle. Talagang other angle yung tinatawag ko dito. Ever since with the kids. Kasi nga, I don't want proper terms. Ang importante is by simply looking at it, ma-solve nyo siya. Rather than knowing all the terms, tapos hindi nyo naman ma-solve, so you choose. Parehas lang, di ba? So, base angles are missing. Again, yan ang base angles natin. Itong ni-encircle ko earlier. 1 and 2. Kasi nga, since this is an isosceles triangle, the base angles are the same. Okay. So, subtract the other angle, which is ang 74 from 180 degrees. Kasi nga, it's a triangle. So, removing that first. So, that's 180 degrees minus 74. Then, once you'll get the answer, all you have to do to get the base angles, kasi nga, once you subtract, that is not the answer yet. Okay? Not the answer yet. Kasi alam ko na talagang style ninyo. After subtracting 1, yun na agad. That's the answer, teacher. No, not yet. Kasi once you subtract that, that's equivalent to this 2, 1 and 2. Itong dalawa. It's equivalent to those 2. Not just 1, no? Kasi what we're solving for is just one base angle. So what do you do? Since they are the same, the moment what you're going to do is to take the answer here and just divide it by 2. And that's your answer for one base angle. Just one, ha? Only one. Again, get the answer after subtracting the other angle from 180 and divide it by 2. Then whatever your answer is, yun na yung value ng x dito. And since these two are the same, again, illustrate ko na naman to. And since you'll be able to get the answer for this part over here, we can now safely say that it's the same answer as this one. Then again, as long as it's parallel. Okay? The same ang sagot dyan. This one and this one. Okay, so from there, doing that, you already have your angle ADC. Okay, medyo mahabang videos natin kasi thorough ang explanation natin one by one. Okay, number 13. Dito pa lang nasa 10 minutes na tayo. Okay, so for number 13, ito medyo a little complicated because you need to make use of everything that you have to solve for the missing angle. So anyway, reading the details, PQRS is a trapezium where PQ is parallel to SR. So ito yung sign of or indication of parallelism. We also have other clues that this is a right angle. Okay. Other than that, we have the given angles such as yung 55 at saka yung 105. Okay. So, PST is a straight line. Find angle QRT. So, saan yung angle QRT natin? This is angle QRT. Ibig sabihin, you're basically solving you need to get two angles, which is ito and this one, to solve for QRT. Okay. Leaving the triangle alone, kung tatanggalin natin to, if we are going to remove this part, ito, you'll be able to solve for this angle immediately. It's basically a scalene triangle. Scalene type of triangle kasi no equal sides, no equal angles. So, masasolve nyo lang to kaagad. So, going back, no? Dyan. Okay, solve muna natin to since yun ang pinakamadali sa lahat. Okay. Kung mapapansin nyo, solving for that angle, again, missing natin is QRT. And to solve for QRT, we need two angles. Ang angle QRS at saka ang angle SRT. Now, Teacher Mark, I'm confused. Saan yan siya? Okay. So, then again, going back, ang QRT is ito. Yung QRS is just this one. QRS. Ito. At saka yung SRT naman is ito naman, going here and going there. So, isa-isahin natin yan. We need to do it one by one for us to be able to solve for it. Okay. So, solving for SRT, medyo madali-dali lang kasi scalene triangle lang siya. All you need to do is to take the given angles. You have a right angle triangle. A right angle triangle is equivalent to how many degrees? Basta yung ganyan, basta may ganyan, yung may maliit na box. It is always equivalent to 90 degrees. Always. Okay? Parati yan. Okay. Now that you have two angles given na, anong gagawin natin first? You just basically need to add both 90 degrees plus 55 degrees equals to that answer. And you just need to subtract your answer from 180 to give you your final answer for angle SRT. Okay? So, ganun lang kailangan nyo gawin to solve for angle SRT. Kayo ang magsasolve niyan. Kasi, yun na nga, I'm already guiding you how to solve it. So, baka naman yung solving part, kayo na ang gagawa. Okay? Now, you already have your angle SRT. So, that's for angle SRT, ha? I'll just leave this here. I want to erase it, pero baka you'll get lost. Next is to solve for angle QRS naman. So, solving for QRS, kung mapapansin ninyo, the only way to solve this is making use, kasi yung sa Z nga kanina, no? Like yung sa Z kanina. If these two angles are the same, and if you're going to extend this line naman ngayon, and if you're going to put another angle there, let's say angle Y nga. So, ito naman sila ngayon, if you're going to add them both, they are equivalent to 180 degrees. Even if the Z will look weird. Even if ganyan ang Z. If the Z looks like that, basta as long as parallel nga. Okay? So, whatever your angle here is, it's just the same as this angle over here as well. And if you're going to extend this line here and put a Y there, so another angle na tayo, if you're going to add this both X and Y, this will still give you 180 degrees. Okay? Which means to solve for the other angle, all you need to do is just to subtract the other angle from 180. Okay? And this situation, ito, erase ko lang muna. So, ang ibig sabihin nito is that if you're gonna look at this figure ngayon, it's basically the same as this figure over here. Iba nga lang yung itsura niya. Erase ko ha. It looks like a Z, pero yun na nga, the weird Z. Pero parang pag ganyan siya nga. Okay, i-draw ko lang siya. If you're gonna extend this line over here, parang, and then if you're gonna tilt your head, parang inverted Z na siya ngayon. Kasi nga, it's the other way around. It should look like, the Z should look like that. And the weird Z should look like that. But in this case, ito nga is just the other way around of the weird looking Z. Okay, since parallel to, may mga clue naman tayo doon that this is parallel. So we can now say that this angle over here is just the same as this angle over here. And this is where the other angle comes in. Ito. Solving, so ito na yan sila. I'm referring to these two angles, 1 and 2, ang QRS. Okay, QRS. So which means if you're going to add this both, this is equivalent to 180 degrees. So in other words, to get the other angle, so in this case, for example, nga, meron tayong 105 degrees dito, and you also have this missing angle over here. To solve for the missing angle, all you have to do is just to take 180 degrees and subtract the other given angle, which is 105. And one should be able to solve the answer. That is your angle QRS. Now, you might tell me, Teacher Mark, ganun lang pala kadali. Why didn't you just tell us to subtract it from 180? I don't want to say that because that's what is always on your head. Always na lang subtract from 180, teacher, minus 100 from 180. No. Kasi ang nangyayari ngayon is that you are getting used to it. You're getting used to it na wala na, hindi na kayo nag-iisip. Minus na lang without getting the logic why you need to subtract it from 180. Okay? So again, bear with me. This will be a very, very long video. Imagine, nasa 13 pa lang tayo. Unless similar problems will be given along the way. Okay, so anyway, yun na yun. Once you'll have the angle QRS, so example, ito na nga, you already have your QRS. So anong gagawin nyo ngayon? All you need to do is just to add these two. Kasi nga, once you'll be able to get this one and this one, add nyo lang silang dalawa, and that's your angle QRT. You just need to solve this one, itong dalawa. Okay? Your answer here and your answer here. Add them both, that will give you angle QRT. Okay, let's try to move on to number 14. Okay, so for number 14, ABC, wala pa palang, kung hindi ko pa pala nalagay, sorry. A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So meron tayong ABC, is an equilateral triangle, and AED is a right angled triangle. So we basically have two triangles combined. Actually, you can see three. May makita kayong tatlong triangles, pero we are only referring to ABC and AED or ADE. Paras lang naman yan. And ACE, taking note that ACE is a straight line. So find angle EDA. Okay, ito lang yung kailangan natin gawin. Medyo madali lang to. You just need to look to see the clues. No, kailangan natin yung clue. So this is what you're solving for. Okay? Ito yung sinasolve natin. Okay, we're solving for that angle over there. This one. Okay. So paano natin isosolve yan? Taking this as a scalene triangle. Right angle triangle is a scalene triangle. Scalene triangle. To solve for this one, you need these two angles. You need angle 1 over here and angle 2 over here. And for now, given ang angle 1, I mean this part over here, this one is given kasi nga it says there, may malit na mark siya, which indicates that this is equivalent to 90 degrees. What you need to solve for us to be able to solve for this angle over here, ano ba yan siya? Angle ADE. EDA, parehas lang yan. For you to be able to solve angle EDA, kailangan nyo muna itong angle na to. Okay. So, let's try to take this angle. Ito. I'll take this out. Okay, knowing that it is a... Ano ba to? Parang ganyan, okay? Nitanggal ko lang siya muna. Knowing that this is a, ano pa to? If you can notice, we have 3 marks, no? May 3 marks tayo dyan. That indicates that this triangle is an equilateral triangle. Ibig sabihin, all angles are equivalent to 60 degrees. In other words, if I'm gonna remove this part, this measurement over here, the entire thing, okay, the entire thing is equivalent to 60 degrees. Now, sa 60 degrees na yan, nagkaroon siya ng 2 parts ngayon. If you notice doon sa main illustration natin. Look, here. Nagkaroon tayo ng dalawang angles ngayon. One is 44 degrees and the other one is unknown, which is ito na yun siya, yung angle 2. Okay? Yan na yung angle 2 na yan. Knowing that the entire the entire angle in this case, ito, is equivalent to 60 degrees, how will you be able to solve for the missing angle? Knowing that part of it is equivalent to 44. Okay. Alam nyo na yung total is 60 and part of it is 44. So all you have to do to solve for this one is to take 60 degrees and subtract 44 from it. And that will give you the answer for this one. So, ibig sabihin na ito na yung sagot nyo dito. Teacher Mark, is that the answer? No. Nandito na naman tayo. Most of us, mabilis talaga magsabi na, yes, and that's the answer, Teacher Mark. No, not yet. That is just part of the solution. Once you'll be able to get that, pwede nyo na i-solve ito. Then, once you already have this angle, you'll be able to solve for angle EDA na. So, basic solving a scalene triangle. Add both given, then subtract it from 180. Okay, so that's number 14. Kayo na. Think naman. You need to think. Kasi if you will be spoon-fed, nako. Mahirap yan. Basic pa lang nga to. What more if you'll reach high school? Complicated na yung instructions, complicated na yung approach, complicated everything, plus complicated explanation of the teacher. So, good luck. Walang ganito. Pagdating, lalo na pag online kayo, there is none. Hindi kayo matutulungan ng ganito. Okay. So, for number 15. Okay, sa number 15 naman, if you will notice, we now have a rhombus. Ang sabi niya that WXYZ is a rhombus. A rhombus is basically the same like a parallelogram. Okay. So, which means if tatanggalin natin to, we can say that this angle is just the same as this one. Okay? Opposite yung same sa parallelogram. That's why you really need to take notes when whatever I give you. So, paano natin isa-solve ito? What we're solving for here is find a YXZ. YXZ is there. Yan, yung may yellow na yan. Okay, that's what you're solving for. And for you to be able to solve that is to take this triangle. Ito, that only one triangle na yan dyan, na yung XYZ nga. And to solve for this, you need these two angles. 1, 2. One is already given, which is ang 71 degrees. Now, how will you be able to solve for the other angle, which is ito? How will you be able to solve that? Madali lang. May clues tayo dyan. Remember the Z? I hope you were able to get that before I said the clue. So, if this is 53 degrees, which means this is also 53 degrees. So, therefore, removing this lang, we can safely say now that this is also equivalent to 53 degrees. Now, how will you be able to solve for the missing part? Scalene triangle na yan. Yan na. So, you will be able to solve for this angle already with all the given clues. Kasi meron na kayong dalawang given angles, 53 and 71. So, from there, you'll be able to solve it na. Next number is 16. Okay, so let's try to solve this ngayon. We have, for 16, we have two figures given there. ABC is a right-angled triangle. So, ABC, ito, referring to this ABC. Yan ang right-angled triangle natin. And AXYZ is a trapezium. AXYZ, this one, is a trapezium. This figure is a trapezium. Where XY is parallel to ZY. AX is parallel to ZY. So, ito na yung sign of parallelism natin. So, angle AZB is a straight line. Okay, the usual clue natin. Find angle ABC. Saan ang ABC? Okay, ABC. Okay. So, if mapapansin ninyo, ABC is under, the angle ABC is just under the right angled triangle. So, ganito. Meron tayong nito. This is 90 degrees. Points ABC natin. And what you're solving for is this one. So, in other words, to solve for this part, basically, all you need is just this part lang. Yan lang yung kailangan nyo. And, sige nga, I'll give this one to you. By simply looking for this, looking at the figure lang alone how will you be able to get this angle? Kasi yan naman kailangan nyo, di ba? Like what I've said earlier. All you need is this angle for you to be able to solve for this angle over here, which is yung angle ABC. Take note of the clues. Z angle. Okay, pwede din N. Inverted na siya. So, anyway, that's all the clue that I can give you. 16. Once you'll be able to get that, kasi nga, when you solve, you need to get clues from other parts of the figure to reach to that certain figure that will really help you solve the main angle. Okay, so ganyan lang, yung number 16. Try to do it on your own. Number 17 na tayo. 27 minutes na tayo. Okay, for number 17, meron tayong ABCD is a trapezium where angle lines AD is parallel to line BC. Okay. CDEF is a rhombus. So ito, CDEF is a rhombus. Parang parallelogram. Ibig sabihin yung mga opposite angles are just the same. Okay? Find angle DEF. So what you're solving for here is ito. DEF. So ito. This angle over here. Again, solving for this part, erase ko muna ito. This is very easy by simply looking at it. Kaya nga, like what I've told you, by simply looking at the figure, dapat you'll be able to find ways. Connect things. Magko-connect tayo. What you're solving for here is angle DEF. Ito. And the only clue given here is this one. 73 degrees. And also, it says there that BCF is a straight line. Okay, straight line yan siya. Now, how will you be able to solve for angle DEF? I'll give you one clue, knowing that opposite angles are the same. Which means whatever your angle here is the same as this one. And knowing that angle BCF is a straight line. And knowing that along that straight line, 73 degrees belong to that part. Okay? So, yan lang ang only clue ko sa inyo. Please naman, please think. Sige, i-con ko na lang talaga. Illustrate ko pa. You already have the straight line. So, ito to. This one is this one, 73 degrees. And the missing angle here to help us solve the missing part is this one. Straight line yan. So, how will you solve for that? And from that point, this angle is just the same as the one across opposite to the diagonal. Okay? So, yan ang 17 natin. That is very easy. Again, please think. Okay? Number 18 tayo. Okay, so ang sabi dyan sa libro nyo that ABCD is a rhombus. So, ABCD is a rhombus. Ito. Rhombus yan siya. And it says there that BCD is an isosceles triangle. And since ABCD is a rhombus and BCD is an isosceles triangle, we can also say that these two angles these two lines are also of the same length. Kasi nga, rhombus siya eh. It's like a square, but not having the 90 degrees angle nga. Okay. So, which means that this ABD is also an isosceles triangle. So, doing so, ang ibig sabihin dito ngayon is that these two angles are of the same measurement. Parehas silang dalawa. And if you notice, no, this straight line ngayon, and so there are three angles ngayon. 1, 2. So you have one here. You have the other one here. And noting that this two, ito na to siya ha. It's this part. Okay? Klaruin ko lang. So which means that these two angles are the same and one angle is equivalent to 80 degrees. Okay. This is a straight line knowing that it is 180 degrees. Subtract 80 degrees. And that will give you a certain answer. And since these two lines are the same, I mean two angles are the same, which means pareha sila and they share this remaining answer na nandito ngayon. Since they share this remaining answer na nandyan ngayon nasa blank, what you have to do is, since they are both x's, no? All you have to do now is your answer and divide it by 2 to get the answer for each angle. Okay? Ganun lang yung pag-solve natin sa 18. That's how you solve for that whenever you have two angles or two variables that are the same. Actually, you already learned about this sa algebra ninyo. Okay? So that's how you solve number 18. 19. Okay, number 19. It says there that ABCD is a parallelogram and CDE is a triangle. ADF and BCE are straight lines. So, ibig sabihin, we can basically say that since they belong to a parallelogram, that these two lines are parallel. What you're asked to solve for is angle FDE, which means you're solving for this part over here. FDE. Okay? That's it for number 19. Huh? Sinabi niyo yun, no? Look at it properly and you'll be able to get it. Pause this video if needed. Analyze the figure. Andyan lang, nandyan lang, nandyan lang. Okay, number 20. Okay, last number, 20. ABCD is a square and AECF is a parallelogram. Find angle FCD. Saan ang FCD dito? FCD. So basically, we're solving for this part over here. Ayan ang sinasolve natin. Okay. Now, how do you solve for that angle? Kasi yung mga triangles natin, pwede naman natin i-fill in. No? There are actually two ways for us to solve this. Let's take two ways. Sige. Bonus na lang. Two ways to solve this. One is by making use of this corner. Yun na nga yung right angle na. Ito. The right angle part. And the other one is to make use of the scalene triangle. Wala na. Hindi na siya Okay. Hindi siya scalene. I mean, hindi siya kwan. Dapat kasi right angle. Okay. I'll just erase this part. Ito yung B. Okay. So, two ways. One is by making use of this nga, yung right angle triangle. And knowing that this is equivalent to, itong angle na to is equivalent, total angle is equivalent to 90 degrees. And this is what's missing. All you need to do is to get this value over here. How do you get that value? Parallelogram nga, sabi doon sa information. So, since this is 79, the other angle is also 79 degrees. So, ibig sabihin dito, this is equivalent to 79 degrees as well. So out of 90, 1 is 79. How do you solve for the other? Okay. For a parallelogram din, yung interior angle na to, which is 79 degrees, and the other opposite of it, dito sa kabila, they are actually the same. Okay, so 79 degrees din yan siya dyan. So, ibig sabihin, at this point, this is also 79 degrees, and this right angle over here is equivalent to 90 degrees. So, from here, you have a standard scalene triangle where you have one missing angle. And from there, you'll be able to solve for the angle. Check nyo. Try to do both. And you'll see that you'll basically have the same answer. Okay? Try nyo lang. Okay, so that's it for today. Medyo mahaba. 35 minutes na tayo. Okay, that's it. I hope you learned from it.